Hey everybody, it's Macky, and we are back with another episode of the Hidden Threads podcast. And we got Jus with his 47 hat on.
Yep. Gotta have it, Magga.
Hey, you know what? I had a lawyer may agree to come on, so that'd be interesting. He's out of Gadsden.
That would be good.
That'd be nice. Speaking of lawyers, we was talking about politicians before we started recording. Most of them are lawyers, right?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a government shutdown now. So if you listen to this years from now, just know that we're day 20 something of a government 27 of a government shutdown, because the Republicans don't want to pay for a bunch of extra stuff.
And Democrats want to pay for all the illegal alien stuff.
All the illegals that have insurance. They keep saying it's not, but if you read the thing, it says it. Right?
Yeah, it says it plain as day.
If you read the bill, it says it right there.
But people don't take the time to go and research that stuff.
They just listen to what the news tells them, which is
blind
wrong.
Leading the blind.
But you were talking about Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, yeah.
She's a representative from
Texas.
Right south of Dallas there.
Yes.
All right. And I'm not going to disparage anybody too bad, but she says some things that are kind of idiotic to me.
She says just about everything she's an idiot.
She goes on air every day and says that all white people are racist. All white people.
Yeah.
That people that support Trump need to be killed. She says all that stuff. And she doesn't sound very smart when she says it.
No.
Here's what gets me.
She changes how she speaks.
Then on the crowd.
The enunciation of the words. Mm-hmm. She's either going to speak ghetto, or she's going to try and make it the most enunciated English.
And she'll go country, too, on you.
Oh, yeah. She's done that, too.
Because she's in Texas, right?
Yep. Pandering.
But if you're a young kid in high school or starting out college, and you have aspirations of going to law school and you think it's going to be hard.
Oh, yeah. Look at her.
It's not going to be hard. So she passed the bar and everything, first try. So.
You can be a blithering idiot and be an attorney. Look at her.
Here's my thing. Do you think she's acting to get votes?
Of course.
If you broke it down and she met with us one-on-one, she'd probably be pretty cool. She's just on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get votes and pander to her audience, right?
Right.
So, right. Because you can't be an idiot, in my opinion, and pass the bar. And you can say idiotic things, but you got to have some brains to pass that school.
You would think, but I have run into people with master's and doctorate degrees, and I got to be honest, you can have all that schooling. You can still be an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Schooling doesn't mean anything.
Right. Look at me.
Well, yeah. Look at you. Well, look at me. I've got several degrees.
You got schooling.
Yeah.
And you speak better than me. I kind of jump all over the place and stutter.
No, I don't.
Yeah. But anyway, you're talking about Fetterman, too. You're from Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
He's been saying, hey, Democrats, let's get this government open back up. And and a lot of them, if Trump said that laying in fire was good for you or was bad for you, some of the Democrats would go lay in fire just because he said it was good for you.
Just because he said it.
They're going to do the opposite. They're just anti-Trump. And Fetterman said, hey, let's stop all this and get the government open, and then we can negotiate. That's what
you know what's really
right?
weird about Fetterman? He's a Yankee, and he acts like an old school Democrat.
Yeah, he's like a
Southern Democrat.
I call it George Wallace Democrat. Right? Yeah. He has that vibe about him.
Yeah, I agree.
Bit of a homeless vibe too. He looks it's like he's getting ready to change oil. Maybe.
Yeah.
So, he came up as an insurance salesman, right? And then he became lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
He was a mayor, then lieutenant governor, and all that.
But yeah, times have changed. Congressmen, when we were growing up and you'd see them on TV and stuff, they were always very well dressed, very professionally dressed.
Right.
Now you can run around in a hoodie and a pair of shorts and your Nikes or Converse through the halls of Congress.
So if you and I both, if we got called to go speak in front of Congress, I'd put a suit on.
Oh, I would have
just for a day, right?
Yeah.
Even the state government, I'd put a suit on.
Oh yeah.
But we go to court, we put a suit on. Just you respect the institution. And Fetterman is like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny, his photo, whenever he was running for office, they'd put his photo of who he's running against, and he'd have on this T-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't understand it, but it works for the guy.
Speaking of politics, today we're going to Walker County, Alabama.
Oh,
that's where the city of Jasper is. If you're not from around here, just north of Birmingham, one of the more corrupt areas in the state, and maybe the South. All right. I've heard people say that if you want to hire a hitman, Go to Walker,
County.
I've heard him say that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true. I've never tried to hire a hitman, by the way. But
neither have I.
We could try it. We're going to talk about the death of a young man named Eric Cates. All right, I'm going to read the news article, and then we'll get into it. All right. New indictments in 2015 Walker County murder case of Eric Cates. Walker County, Alabama. This is from WBMA. It's ABC 3340 News down there. We don't get that up here, but it's around Birmingham. New indictments were issued in the connection to the 2015 murder of Walker County man Eric Cates. Cates and his dog Gypsy were found dead inside of a burning truck behind the old Empire School in Walker County, abandoned school there. According to court documents, Joshua Hill was indicted on the charge of capital murder and first-degree kidnapping. Hill was arrested last October for the murder in connection to the case. So this article was written in 2024. So he was arrested in 2023. Murder happened in 2015. So this is a while. It's went on for a while. Getting on with it here. Court documents stated that the men are accused of striking or hitting Cates with a blunt instrument, then maintaining a fire which causes death with the intent to accomplish or aid in the commission of kidnapping him. A woman, Cyrena Cheyenne Styles, say that 3 times fast, Juice.
No.
Cyrena Cheyenne Styles. Cyrena Cheyenne Styles. It ain't bad. Was indicted for murder in the case in October 2023. So it looks like Cyrena got arrested and then started spilling her guts.
Enrolled.
Yeah. They said, hey, we'll give you whatever if you tell us who else was involved. The news source received a statement from Cates' mother, Tobbie Stover, following the announcement of the indictments said for years she has fought to get a thorough investigation into her son's death in Walker County. So the other article we're going to open up gets into Walker County and how they didn't do anything.
Of course not. It's Walker County.
Walker County, baby. I think they've been through about 5 sheriffs since this article was written.
Yeah.
They get fired or they quit or whatever. There's always something dirty going on down there.
Yeah.
A Walker County judge, Joletta Barentine, ordered murder suspect Joshua Hill held without bond. So he didn't get a bond. So this is a big deal. The ruling came after Ania's law hearing, which allows violent offenders to be held under no bond. Hill and another suspect were arrested Friday. All right, let's get down here to the nitty-gritty part of it. The prosecution is being handled by the Attorney General's office. So they skipped the local. This went past the local prosecutor and went right to the Attorney General's office, if that tells you anything. Everybody, Macky here with ShadowNet Investigations. I'm the lead investigator, and I'm here to let you know that we conduct premium digital forensics. Whether you're looking to recover deleted data from phones, tablets, computers, you name it, give us a call, and we can help you out in recovering that data. Or if you think you're hacked, we have the tools and expertise to help you figure out who's hacked you and to find out how it happened, whether you need help with any digital forensic situation, recovering deleted data, hacking situations, or any questions you have about digital forensics. Give us a call, 866-910-7499. That's a free consultation at 866-910-7499, or visit us at shadownetdigital.com. Does the Attorney General really want to work local cases?
No, but when, you have corrupt government down there, somebody's going to get it and it's going to go up. It's not going to go laterally.
Somebody's got to pay, right?
Yeah.
And if the locals don't want to do it, then it goes to the next level.
Yeah.
Right. The state's going to handle it. If
but they kept him in jail with no bond. Didn't he have several charges prior to that he didn't show up to court for?
Yeah. He had trafficking.
Yeah.
And something else. And they had a warrant for him anyways.
Yeah.
And they got him.
He FTA'd and so he doesn't care. So that didn't help his case of getting bail either.
Right. The AG's office contracted with a forensic pathologist who is a fire expert. For the first time, the pathologist identified a fracture on Cates' skull from a photo. The trauma was prior to the fire that killed Cates, according to the expert. So they did an autopsy on the kid back when the murder happened, but they didn't notice this crack in his head. If you're looking at a skull,
okay.
I'm not a medical expert or anatomy expert, but I can notice fractures in a skull.
Yeah.
Can't you?
Yeah.
Just, hey, there's something wrong there.
Yeah. That hole right there, that crack.
The pathologist found Cates was alive when he was set on fire in his truck with his dog. All right. Soot was found in his lungs and trachea. So he was breathing when they set him on fire. Maybe unconscious, but he was alive. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have been saved, right? Herman's testified about the statements from witnesses, some who remain confidential at this point. One reported Hill was beating co-defendant Cheyenne Styles at a home in Walker County when Eric Cates came to Styles' aid. Hill and 2 others jumped on Cates, according to testimony. Hill allegedly saying, "Eric went straight to the ground. I thought I'd killed him." Herman testified that Styles was told to drive Cates in his truck from the home where the fight occurred to the school. Cates is reportedly wheezing and incapacitated from his injuries. Testimony from Herman indicated Styles was afraid if she said anything, Hill would kill her. All right. What's the motive here, I wonder?
Well, she claimed that he was beating her, right?
Mm-hmm. He was walking his dog.
Something else.
Yeah, he was walking his dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if you think she's a prostitute.
I would go that far.
Okay, and maybe there was a conflict on the payment or something like that.
Probably.
And she got her her enforcers to come over and take care of it.
Probably.
All right. We'll it'll come. It eventually comes out. It may take years, but it eventually does. So this guy Hill, that they think was the main guy that knocked him in the head and set him on fire, right? Mm-hmm. He had an alibi. He said Herman testified an alibi witness told state investigators Hill was not with him.
Right.
All right. Let's look into that. If you look at Josh and don't know his history, you would ask, how could someone like him be such a horrific murderer? Ooh. How could he be so evil? He has shown no remorse. Still, he's still denying it, remarked Stover. Stover has been highly critical of Walker County authorities, including the sheriff and district attorney, over the years for not pursuing the case aggressively. District attorneys argued Joshua Hill has maintained his innocence and appeared willingly before a grand jury. They contended many of the allegations are hearsay and will not be allowed at trial. The defense asked for a property bond of $60,000, but prosecutors reported Hill has been charged with 5 felonies since Cates' murder.
Imagine that.
And failed to appear in court several times. Mr. Hill is exactly the person Anais Law was intended for, remarked one of the attorneys for the AG's office. Co-defendant Styles did not have an attorney appointed Monday, so bond hearing was moved to Friday. All right, so we don't know what's going on there. But it's kind of quiet since then, right? You don't hear much since this article was written. It's been a year.
Right.
Basically exactly a year since the article was written. What do you think's going on down there?
Well, I think the local law enforcement may have been maybe in cahoots on other things with the people. And they said, well, we're just going to bring down the house of cards. Mm-hmm. And maybe local law enforcement turned the other cheek. Said, right. Okay, we don't see anything.
Prostitution, dope.
Oh, yeah.
All the vices, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the state AG looked at it and said, hey, there's something wrong with this. It doesn't say it, but I'm sure they're investigating the police department, too.
Sure they are.
They can, right?
Sure. Can't
the state investigate a sheriff?
Yeah.
He's just a citizen. He can be investigated for crime just like me or you can, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is an interesting case, man. I don't know why it took so long. But like you said, though, they might have been on the take.
Yeah, there's got to be something else going on.
Yeah, on the take, they say.
Yeah.
And Walker County has a history of problems down there, especially during the race stuff back in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bad deal. I don't know who this car is driving around, Juice, but it's a stranger. They pulled in our driveway?
Yeah.
They did?
Yep.
I'm going to have to pause it then, ain't I?
Yep.
Yeah, so Walker County, man. We had to take a break there. But
yep.
Dirty, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what comes up here. And then what do you think?
Well, you know, I'm a Yankee that was transplanted. Mm-hmm. I grew up in an area called Mob City.
Yeah, you did, where they all went and hung out, right?
Yeah, yeah. So when I got down here, I didn't think anything of small town politics until I got railroaded here in Fife by the mayor at the time.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You can put on a facade only for so long, and then it's going to catch up with you.
Right.
And I have a feeling this stuff's going to catch up with law enforcement, the attorney's office down there. It's all going to come out.
Right.
There's some small town stuff going on.
Right. Yeah, because the DA can push it. The local DA can push it, and they didn't. A judge can push it. You know, anybody, any of those levels of law enforcement can push a case and say, "Hey, we're looking at this."
Somebody to step up, and they didn't
until it got to Montgomery.
Well, they didn't want to step up. Well, the state attorney's going to step up and probably step on a lot of toes.
Right. So they're going to do it by the book.
Oh yeah,
because they're under the spotlight. You know, they're not small town whatever, so they're going to do it by the book. So, all right, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But we'll go. We'll get out of here for now. What do you think?
I think so.
All right. We've said it enough. Tell us what you think. Talk to you later, Juice.
Bye.